Good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 13 of My Career in Tech web series. Today, as we gather for our weekly webinar, we honor International Women's Day. It's a time to celebrate the incredible achievements of women in tech and beyond, and to recommit to building a more inclusive and equitable future. We'll be hearing from our guest speakers and some outstanding women from our 3MTT Knowledge Showcase. Let's be inspired by their stories and contributions as we delve into today's discussion. Welcome and happy International Women's Day. Our guest speakers for today are Kosi Inyao and Nafisa Lawal, and our moderator for today is Joy Nwaiwu. Kosi is a software engineer at Microsoft. She's passionate about AI and data engineering for the cloud. Beyond work, she mentors and advocates for STEM and is the founder of STEM Bridge, a platform that provides girls with opportunities to network with female founders, mentors, and industry professionals. Our next guest speaker is Nafisa. Nafisa is a dedicated data scientist hailing from Sokoto State. She passionately advocates for diversity and inclusion in the technology sector and has emerged as a distinguished leader and mentor in the tech community, actively contributing to impactful programs such as She Connects Africa, Google Women Tech Makers, Black Girls in Tech, Women in Tech, and Women in Data Science as a mentor. Our moderator for today is Joy Nwaiwu, a community manager for 3MTT and a technical writer. Today, we'll be looking to highlight the achievements of women in the tech industry, discuss challenges they might have faced, share inspiring stories, and explore strategies for fostering gender diversity and inclusion in the field of tech. Kosi and Nafisa, you are both welcome. And with no further ado, I'd like to hand over to Joy. Joy, you're welcome.
Hi, thank you. Thank you, Demi, for that introduction. Yes, and rightly said, we have very phenomenal women in our midst today, and we are celebrating International Women's Day. So yeah, happy International Women's Day, everyone. Just to kick things off, thank you so much to our speakers for finding out time to join us today. Just to kick things off, Kosi, can you please as a software engineer who's focused on AI and data, what would you say initially sparked your interest in this field, and just like how has your passion evolved over the years?
Well, that's a really good question. My journey into software engineering, focusing on AI and data, wasn't actually a straight path. I consider myself to be a very versatile individual because I have a background in mechanical engineering, aerospace, and computer science. But my interest in machine learning actually started in undergraduate. I was working on a project on the doctoral students that used machine learning to help stroke patients rehabilitate. And for me, it wasn't just about the coding, but at that moment I realized the capability we have to solve real tangible problems by blending creativity with technology. And this experience was what pushed me towards grad school, where I took up a minor in computer science that opened my eyes to the various opportunities that are in AI. The research I ended up doing in grad school involved using machine learning to model pilot behavior using data we had gathered from pilots flying different routes in a flight simulator. And that experience for me emphasized the importance of data. Data is everything, right? It's the cornerstone of AI and technology, allowing us to infer, predict, and generate insights. So this realization for me about the power of data transformed how I approach AI and engineering and showed me that, when you have the right data, you're not just solving problems, but you're predicting future challenges, innovating solutions, even before they become necessary. And over the years, I have come to realize that my passion has evolved, right? And I've come to realize that what I'm doing here is much more than just embracing technology. It's really about understanding and finding ways to leverage the power of these technologies to drive innovation and, of course, impact. I like to think that we are not just solving today's problems, but we're also anticipating, thinking about, and crafting solutions for the challenges of tomorrow. And this understanding has been my guiding principle in my everyday work. And I think that's what just keeps the whole journey exciting.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Kosi. I think you've had like a very transformational journey in tech, but I mean, I'll dive into that much later. Hi, Nafisa. Would you also like to, I mean, Kosi has already mentioned things about like data and how, revolutionary it could be. So can you share your journey into like the field of data science and, what
Thank
initially
you. Thank you for
drew
sharing that, Sophie. I think you've had like a very transformational journey in tech, but I mean, that is
Okay. Yes, yeah. What basically drew you to the discipline of the data science?
Thank you, Joy. Thank you for inviting me to celebrate the International Women's Day. So let me start by saying it all started in 2015, back then when I went for SIWES, that's industrial training, at National Teachers Institute in Kaduna. I was assigned to a task which was far beyond my comfort zone, kind of. So where I found myself trying to digitize an outdated database that's from zero technical background. Of course, I studied statistics, but that's not where I learned my skills. So it was actually like a daunting challenge, but I kind of turned to online resources, like especially YouTube tutorials, which that's how I embrace self-discovery. And what's really made me to like mind-breaking, it was like a mind-breaking task to me because it's the first time that I was asked to do something like that. So it started from there. Then I was so determined, and it was like more like thirst for knowledge, and I tried to overcome the obstacle, make sure I did that, and which eventually that's how I transformed their system, and which they are still currently using it as of today. Not really having much of a formal background. It's more like YouTube videos, resources, books, and lots more.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that, Nafisa. Still on you. So just to like going through your portfolio, I see that you've done a lot of things in like various fields, and just knowing that you're a distinguished leader in tech, you're a mentor, you know, you're a tech mentor, you're actively contributing to various organizations and initiatives. So can you please touch on what inspires you to, dedicate your time and your expertise to just empowering others and particularly within the data science field?
So, well, let's see. In my journey, I actually didn't get the opportunity to have a mentor, so which made me to like have this mindset that I have to help people. Like I just have to help people one way or the other. Because there are some times that you come out and you feel like you are lost. You need someone to help guide you, kind of, you don't even know what you're doing. A lot of people are facing that. So that's one of the reasons which as well as since I don't have really a formal background related to data science, so I just assume that a lot of people need to know, okay, how are they going to go about this? How are they going to go about that? That's actually one of the passion that I really want to like instill to my mentees and a lot of people, especially women, and especially women from the northern part of Nigeria.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nafisa. And I would 100% agree with you that, having a mentor in your desired field would really go a long way to just helping to like propel your journey, helping you to um surge ahead, even better than those who would not, ordinarily have someone guiding them. So yes, mentorship does play a huge role in career growth. So Kusi, coming back to you. Yes, I said we're going to talk about your um very, very inspiring background. So I see that you have a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering. You went on to, get a master's in aerospace engineering, and currently you're working as a software engineer with, a focus on AI and data. I mean, that is a whole lot. I mean, I would say it's even the tip of the iceberg, right? So like just having this multidisciplinary background and being so versatile in your career journey, what would you say are like the most significant barriers to gender diversity in the tech industry, and how can some of these things be addressed?
Oh, wow. This is something I think about all the time, right? So stepping from mechanical engineering to aerospace to computer science to software, I've been in different rooms, right? But one thing always stands out when it comes to diversity or the lack thereof. Um, and these barriers are deeply rooted, right? When we talk about societal stereotypes or the structural inequalities within the industry itself, a key barrier that really stands out to me is a stereotype that we see in not just even technology, in STEM fields, that women are less suited for, these kind of fields. And it's a stereotype that begins influencing our perception even from a very young age. And this is something I've actually seen up close during my gap year in Nigeria when I taught math and further maths in for two public school students. And it was quite glaring when you see how not only are these schools underfunded, but they hardly encourage girls to dive into STEM. A lot of the girls feel like, I can't do this, it's too hard. And this narrative is quite common in various parts of the world, not just Nigeria and not just Africa. Another thing that I think about is the absence of female role models in this industry, in the tech industry. And this exacerbates the issue. It can be difficult for young girls to find inspiration and mentorship from women who've navigated, similar paths. And then the last thing I would say is workplace culture. I think that's very important, especially, to us as young professionals. When workplace culture fails to prioritize diversity and inclusion, that presents its own significant hurdle. And my experience has shown me that being in a space that's been, dominated by men, from just even the engineering classroom to corporate environments, means having to navigate and face this bias, but also having to assert your presence even more forcefully. It's not just about having a seat at a table, but it's about making sure the seat does come with a microphone. Because I mean, we can have a seat at a table if nobody can hear us. What's the point? And so, to your question, how do we tackle this? First up, and I think this is pretty obvious, early intervention. We need to get our young girls into STEM early on. Like it should be as natural as like picking up a book to read or something. And with STEM Bridge, the nonprofit organization I run, that's what we're aiming to do. Another aspect is role model. It's hard to imagine yourself in a role when you've never seen someone like you. It makes you feel, well, are there people like me that do these things? I don't really want to be the first. No one ever wants to be the first. So, sharing our stories, having these like aha moments, our struggles, our win, it's key because other people are taking from this information. And what it speaks to us is that, hey, if this person can do it, I did it, you can too. And then lastly, our workplace culture has to be welcoming. It's like it's not okay for people to get a pass for, oh, they're just men. Oh, that's just how it is. No, it doesn't have to be that way. Um, we have to understand that our ideas, women's ideas, should not just be heard, but they should be looked out for. They should be sought after, if that makes sense, and amplified. And so I think that that's just what keeps me going, is the belief that we all, each of us has the ability to change the narrative, whether that's through mentoring, whether that's through talking about our own accomplishments, sharing our own struggles. We're building something, and it's a journey that's, exciting. It's a journey that's worth being on.
Yes, I also agree with that. I mean, when you say that, this field, the engineering field, the tech field, it's one where it's male dominated, where, we don't have a lot of females there. Because I mean, till date, I still get asked, by people, oh, my daughter wants to study computer science or engineering. Is that a field that she should go to? I know that there are not a lot of, guys or, a lot of ladies rather studying that, like, questions like that. I'm like, that's more reason why you should even encourage her to study that, because we need more women in tech. So yeah, 100% agree with you. And just you've already talked about your startup. Yeah, I was going to come to that. And the question goes this way. So like beyond your impressive achievements, beyond everything your um versatile background, you are still actively involved in promoting STEM education, empowering young girls, right? So like basically what motivates you to like champion all these causes? And we all know that it cannot be easy. So how are you able to like just balance and juggle these multiple responsibilities?
For me, it's really personal. When I say it's really personal. There's a lot of emotion involved in this organization. And I mean, I already mentioned what I did during my gap year, just to show you how passionate I am about this. So for me, it's a journey of mentorship and seeing firsthand the challenges these girls have faced and seeing their potential, their brilliance, their curiosity. It was a turning point for me. And I realized that if these girls are given a chance, they can change the whole world. That's my main driver, knowing that by empowering them, we're not just changing their lives, but helping to reshape their future. So think about it. When you empower her, you empower her future. And when it comes to balancing that, with my work at Microsoft and the 100 other things I do, it can get a bit overwhelming, right? Because it's never easy. But the thing about me is that I thrive on challenges. Give me a challenge and I want to eat it up. I want to do it. And so I think of it this way, right? Make smart choices with my time, set priorities, and learn to say no. Although learning to say no can be a bit hard for me, but I'm working and working through it. It's all a learning process. And like I said, for me, my work at STEMbridge is not just a thing to check, oh, I did this today off my to-do list. It's a passion and a commitment. And I can't even do this without my support system, the colleagues I have, my team who also share my vision, and my family that keeps me grounded, as well as, a network of mentors and advisors I have, and the volunteers at STEMbridge. And you know how they say it's a community, it takes a village, right? In my case, it's absolutely true. The support of the people around me, my team and everything has helped me actually, juggle all of these things together. Being able to delegate, being able to have people who pull through for you is very important. And all in summary, at the end of the day, what really keeps me going is impact. Seeing what we can do, seeing what the organization has the ability to achieve, even, being so small this early on, like there's no way I can stop doing what I'm doing. Impact is key.
Yeah, absolutely. Impact is key. And then when you talk about having to say no, I'm sure that's something a lot of us ladies struggle with. And people say that no is a complete sentence, but well, some of us may not see it that way because we still struggle with that a lot of times. And yeah, it's okay to say no, to remove yourself from, things that no longer serve you, and to like just create out time for other things that are more important in your life. So, Nafisa, coming back to you, um, So the question is, you know, based off of your work so far, what are your thoughts on, the future of diversity and inclusion in the Nigerian ecosystem, in the Nigerian tech industry? What are the steps that we can take collectively as a country, as a community, to accelerate, progress in this area?
So, well, let's see. I strongly believe that in empowering women in tech. So we need to start by promoting education. That's from secondary school, even primary school, primary, secondary school, and even the university. And also, we should collectively be having more advocates for that as well, and raising awareness and sensitization, which in Nigeria today and also globally, there is a need for more inclusiveness and also like supportive environments, which we need in promoting STEM programs, and also, like as she mentioned earlier, also fostering more communities as well. And let me give an example. Like a few years ago, I was actively participating in promoting STEM education, like some local communities, schools, government schools, and the rest. So by organizing also workshops like this, and also having awareness programs, we can actually successfully reach a lot of women, young girls, and to embrace the tech ecosystem with joy, actually, and passion, and also maybe small initiatives that can ripple the effects or inspiring the next generation of women in tech.
Thank you, Nafisa. I would agree with you that that was very insightful. So so far, are there like any challenges or biases that you faced as a woman in the tech industry, and how were you able to overcome these challenges?
Well, as I earlier mentioned, I didn't have a mentor initially. It was afterwards that kind of as I was growing, and that's how I was able to get mentorship. But now, a lot of people have this issue of reaching out to mentors. Like they feel, this mentor will not have my time and stuff like that. And well, I think that's the only challenge I face. And I feel like the power of mentorship is really, really crucial, which it's really played a vital role. So if we can focus on that aspect, it will be really good.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you for that, Nafisa. But still on the topic of mentorship, I know that can be like a whole other conversation on its own, because I also feel like on the flip side of the coin, there are some people who also like kind of abuse that privilege of having a mentor, because it now feels like, oh, I have a mentor. That mentor becomes like your helper in all areas of your life, and technically that's not how it should be, right? So but yeah, having a mentor is definitely important. Kosi, you've already mentioned like, how it has been for you going through like a male-dominated industry, right? But I still want you to like just touch on that more or emphasize on it if you can. Like, what has been your experience in general, just as a woman in the tech industry, in the male-dominated tech industry, and how have you navigated any of the challenges or biases you faced?
Okay, so like I said earlier, from from the start of my, well, I call it career, or at least the start of my school career, from engineering classroom, I've always found myself as one of the few women, if not the only woman in the room. And such situations can feel isolating. But growing up, I grew up with all boys, and that taught me confidence and assertiveness. And these are two traits that I believe are very valuable in the kind of industry we're in, confidence and assertiveness. One of the challenges I have encountered is what I call the echo phenomenon. So it's when you share an idea and that idea is overlooked until it's echoed by someone who is a male. And everyone is like, oh, yeah, that's good. But you already said it before, but somehow it went through, it came from this ear and went out the other ear. That can be very frustrating. But over time, I have learned that it's not just about speaking up, but how you speak up. So I've become a lot more strategic in ensuring that my voice is heard and my contributions are recognized. I don't know if you all are familiar with Two Sigma. It's a company. There's a fintech, but one of the most transformative pieces of advice I received came from a director there who told me to ditch the "I am just happy to be here" mindset. And I think that's a lot of mindset a lot of us hold. Oh, it doesn't matter. At least I'm here. I'm just happy to even be in this room. No, you're not here by accident. You're here because you have value. You have something to contribute. So you have to own that because no one else is going to own it for you, you know? And you need to embrace your own achievements and remind yourself that hard work is what put me here, to get where I am today. And oh, yes, of course, navigating these biases requires resilience, confidence, all those nice, is it adjectives or adverbs? I don't know, whatever. But it also requires a supportive network. Like Nafisa said, finding allies and mentors who champion you, who make spaces more welcoming, who put you in spaces where you can shine and who provide opportunities for you is very important. And yeah, I also think it's important for us to remember that, every challenge we overcome, for ourselves is actually a step forward for all of us, especially the people who were coming. Because think about it, right? For us to get here today, someone higher than us, someone older than us that had to pave that way. So when you do something, when you overcome something, remind yourself that, I'm going to fix this or take this approach that might put me out of my comfort zone to make it better for the people coming behind me.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Kosi. I think that was very, very helpful. What you just said, the quotes or something, I'm quoting you now, I'm not just happy to be here, I'm meant to be here. I think that's something, we should put up on the post-its and just like paste it on your mirror, or something that you can see every day. And like for people who love to do like affirmations, just affirm it. As ladies, I think that's, sometimes we just get into this mindset that, oh, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not worth it. That whole mindset. So, and that even brings me to the next question, which is, what advice would you give to young women out there, people listening who may face imposter syndrome or, just self-doubt as they pursue their careers in tech?
Imposter syndrome. Many of us are always facing imposter syndrome. I don't care what anybody says. We've all felt some kind of self-doubt or imposter syndrome. But I'm going to start by sharing a story. I know all of you who are listening right now through the live stream are familiar with Toby Amushon, our star girl, 100-meter hurdles world record holder. But what some of you may not know is she actually competed in the Olympics in Tokyo in 2020, and she didn't medal. She didn't receive any medal. She was ready to give up. I mean, can you believe someone that good was like someone who is competing in the Olympics because she didn't medal is ready to give up because she felt like she wasn't good enough. Despite everything she had done, she was questioning her path because she didn't medal. But as you all know, her story didn't end there, right? Because, I mean, look at her now. Look at her today. She didn't let those doubts win. Instead, she used those doubts to fuel her motivation, pushing herself to train harder and smarter. And we saw the results in the World Championships in 2022. She didn't just win, she broke a record. So why am I telling you a Toby story? Because it is proof that feeling doubt doesn't mean you're doing something wrong or you're on the wrong path. It's the opposite. It means that you're pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. You're in a new space, you're in new territory. So it's okay, it's natural to feel uncertain. But like Toby, you want to use those feelings as motivation. That's where the growth happens. Again, and I've said support network in every response, but I think it's so important. Don't underestimate the power of a support network. Find mentors, join communities, surround yourself with people who uplift you, because these connections are what provides a different perspective from you. Sometimes you're not even recognizing what you're doing or the great things you're doing. Someone else may have to tell you. And also, everyone needs advice on how to navigate their career. Everyone needs encouragement. Another very important thing, which is something that we do even more because of the digital age we're living in right now, is compare less and celebrate more. Everyone has struggles, but not everyone is going to show them on Twitter, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. Most people will not post, "Oh, today I cried." Most people will post, "Oh, today I got a new job. Oh, I won this award." That's what most people are going to post. And so focus on yourself for real and define what your own limits are. Lastly, never stop learning and be open to new experiences. Tech, and now more so even other industries mostly tech, is driven by rapid change and innovation. So there's always something new to learn. Things don't get old. No, things get old quickly, is what I'm trying to say. So there's always something new to learn. There's always something new coming up. And I'm going to end with my favorite quote from Steve Jobs. He gave an address at Stanford University. Was it in 2005? I think it was 2005. But the quote is, "Stay hungry and stay foolish." And this mindset can transform the feeling of inadequacy into excitement of growth. At least it has for me. So stay hungry and stay foolish, which means never stop learning and be open to new experiences and new challenges. Don't just stay foolish, but yeah.
Of course, definitely. Yeah, and then talking about LinkedIn, on LinkedIn, we're all happy to announce, right? We are always happy to announce, right? Nobody, people hardly share their struggles, people hardly share what you're going through. It's all butterflies and rainbows on social media. So yeah, I think we ladies should do less of comparing and more on focusing and celebrating ourselves. And that's why we're here today. That's why we're celebrating the International Women's Day. So yeah, and one final question, I'll return that to you and Nafisa. So what advice would you give to aspiring data scientists, particularly our 3 MTT women who are considering, careers in this field?
I'll add to what Koisi said earlier. So based on my own personal experience, there are three things, sorry: passion, resilience, and determination, which they are like the three things that became a guiding principle for me, as well as overcoming the societal expectations, especially from someone from the North. And you should be open to engage in a honest conversation with your family, emphasizing in the value of your chosen career path, as well as its potential impacts. So it's not just like about conforming with the norms. Actually, it's more like blending the cultural heritage and with your dreams. So you should be able to, the aspiring data analyst or data scientist and all women out there, they should be able to do that, blend it to the cultural heritage and also with their dreams, and also like showcasing positive impact of their work on social media everywhere, and also staying true to their passion, as well as gradually gaining acceptance and support from community. I like it the way Chris mentioned of communities, engaging in communities. I really like that. And also, I'll advise that we should have more women that can be able to advocate for the diversity and inclusion in data science, inspiring others to break free from societal expectation and pursue fulfilling careers in technology. So I also want to emphasize in becoming an incredible potential woman from Nigeria, especially, and also being in the field of data. It's like you'll be having an ability of resilience, problem solving abilities as well, and also you have all sort of diverse cultural backgrounds and what have you. So I call it 7-point agenda, last but not the least. Just believe in yourself and your ability. Pursue your education, your training relentlessly, and build your portfolio. Make sure you can build your portfolio to showcase, and also build a supportive network, and embrace continuous learning, seek mentorship, and have a mentor. A mentor can be both personal and also professional, especially women, one-on-one women mentorship. And last but not the least, be determined, be persistent, and also be resilient.
Thank you for sharing that, Nafisa. And thank you to our very extraordinary ladies, our speakers, who have shared so much insight with us today from their wealth of knowledge. Thank you, Kosi and Nafisa. And to our audience, everyone listening, I hope you've learned a thing or two. For me, I think I've gotten enough motivation and quotes and insights to last me the entire year. So yeah, that brings us to the end of the first half of the session, and we'll be moving on to the second one, where we would have like the fellows presentation, and I'll be handing over to Demi. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Kosi and Afisa. Joy, thank you also for moderating. Some important things, or some things that stood out to me from what Kosi and Afisa said. Firstly, with Nafisa pointed out the importance of passion, determination, persistence, and resilience. And I feel like those are 4 major things to carry with you if you're looking to accomplish anything in life, not just in tech. Kosi made a very good point of the importance of not just feeling satisfied with being with getting a seat at the table, but instead sort of having the guts or having enough courage to offer something to the table, as opposed to just being someone who sits at the table and just nods their head all the way through. So I feel like those are 2 major things that I picked up from the discussion. Thank you guys very much. Now we're going to be moving on to the knowledge showcase. So each month we have a period where we allow our fellows to present what they've learned or built so far during the course of their 3-month 3MTT program. So today we have 3 representatives who will be presenting what they've learned / built so far. I think the first person that will go up is Eunice Kalu. So Eunice, if you'd like to introduce yourself and present what you've learned so far in the 3MTT program, that'll be fantastic.
All right, thank you. Good evening.
Evening.
All right, when I joined this program, I had no idea of what UI UX design is all about. So when I started the first phase, which was the online course, I got an idea of what the whole thing was all about. So I started thinking within me, how can I solve a problem around me? I've been a nursing Nigerian student. I actually know the challenges I've passed through from my first year to the second year of my learning. So I think if I should develop an app, I'm not just helping myself, but I'll be also helping thousands of students out there. That was what inspired me to create this app. Now, I had to start, okay, I'm going to share my screen with you. So I started by identifying problems that Nigerian schools are facing, both the school as a whole and then the students. One is the office bureaucracy, where students queue up in the bank to make payments and then still go back to the office to generate school receipts. Now with this app, all those things can stop. We also go to offices to access our results, but when we have this app, it will limit time being wasted in the office. And as well, the students can have easy access to their payments records and the results so far in school. We also have the cumbersome payments process. Now, can you imagine on days of exams? Because maybe that is when the fees are available. Students still have to go to the bank to make payments. But when you have this app, you can just make your payments from the comfort of your home and also generate the receipts, which is an evidence of the payments you've made. Now we have expensive textbooks. We know that times are hard and it's not easy getting money to purchase expensive textbooks. But when you have this app, you can access these textbooks from the comfort of your home, study and make good grades. Also, the app can allow students networking where you get to compete with other students, meet with other students from different departments. Now, during our research, we had these feasibility studies where we found out how this app can generate funds. So the first way is the payment gateway. Through payments that will be made from the app, there will be percentages. Now, these generating revenue can help maintain the app so that tomorrow we'll not have stories that the app is no longer working as it should. So through every payment that will be made on the app, students can easily make their payments while the owners of the app, that is the school, can generate revenue. Now, during students' election campaign and voting, it can be done on the app. And through that means, there will be revenues generated. Also, local businesses can advertise their services and products, and also different sponsorships from different brands. Now, I went ahead to create the user persona, which I used to develop my wireframe. Now, I have different personas I created, which inspired me to create a wireframe for the app. I have these different persona stories, ranging from students who is finding it difficult to make payments, to one who cannot access textbooks, to even people that need updates. And then the administration of the school is not left out. Things are not really done in a manual way now. Through the app, the administration can easily assess students' performance, everything that is going on in the school, and generate their reports as well. Now, I had to use this personas experience I gathered to design my wireframe. Okay, the wireframe is from the introduction page. It gets you to signing up, the payments, and everything that will be done on the app. I had to design it on the wireframe.
Eunice, sorry to cut you off. I just wanted to clarify, were you looking to share your screen as you were presenting?
Yes.
Because your screen hasn't
Is it
been
not
sharing.
sharing?
So if you'd like to try again so that
Let's see.
our viewers get a better understanding of what you're saying, talking about.
Okay. All right.
Okay, fantastic. Now we can see your screen.
All right. So this is what the user persona looks like. I had to create different user personas. Now, these are fictional users of the app. Each user persona have their challenges. And it is from these challenges that I was able to create my wireframe, which is a rough sketch of what the main app will look like. Now, we have different personas where one of them is finding it difficult to make payments in the school. So with the app, this particular individual will make payments from the comfort of his or her own. Then the administration personas also is here, where the school can keep tab of all activities in the school and all data of students in the school. Then the lecturer also, this is the persona, where the lecturer can easily have access to the students. Take, for instance, there is a holiday. The lecturer won't have to get confused on how to drop updates or share learning materials. With the help of the app, the lecturer can do this easily. We also have different other personas, like getting updates from the school. Now, talking about these expensive textbooks, with this application as well, students can easily access textbooks from the comforts of their homes without spending any money. So these personas led me to creating a wireframe. A wireframe is a rough sketch of what the main app will look like. Now, this is my wireframe. If you can see it from here, it has the introduction page where the user have to sign up and log in. It has the home page, which has a list of all activities in the app. How to make payments, the course outline, the academic calendar for each session, the results and how to access the results. And all these payments and results, they are not just going away immediately. They are being stored on the app, so you can easily access them whenever you want. We also have the account setting and password. So these and lots more is what the app can do. So this is a prototype of the app. It is still a work in progress, so with time, everything will fall in place. So this is the prototype of the app. So that is it for now.
Hi, Eunice. Thank you so much for sharing. But just because of time, we'll need to move on to the next fellows to present their presentations as well. Is there any final things you'd like to say to wrap up what you've designed so far?
Yes, I want to encourage students out there. This program is one of a kind. So this, if you have the opportunity, maximize it very well. It is an amazing program.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing, Eunice. I'm very inspiring what you've presented as well. Vivian, would you like to present what you've learned so far in the program? Yeah, I think Vivian isn't with us yet. Hannah.
I am here. Sorry, I was trying to switch screens so that I can start present.
No problem at all, Vivian.
Hello, everyone. Good
Hi,
evening.
Vivian.
So, let me start sharing my screen.
So Eunice, if you'd like to stop sharing screen so we can allow Vivian to share screen, that would be great.
All right. My name is Ifoma Vivian Gallo with the fellow ID FE/23/989522, learning UI UX design in the 3MTT program. So far, so good. I have been able to learn a lot, starting from UI UX design, the principles of UI UX design, user journey, human-centered design. This my work here is going to show us one of my work. I designed it based on human-centered, that's based on touch points or pain points. I'm trying to find it. Okay, sorry. So while I'm on it, while I'm finding it, this is in this program, actually, I've learned human-centered design. This is what I'm going to talk about because Eunice have already done most of the talking. She has said major part of the things that I've learned, creating user personas. Then I've also learned creating user interfaces, digital interfaces in general, while considering user experiences. Please forgive me, I'm still trying to find this word. Okay, all files. Design files. So in this program, actually, I worked on something that I'm trying to find, but I don't know where it's hidden because my screen, something is blocking my screen. Okay, I think it's here. Sorry, forgive me, please. Okay, here it is. So this is one of the things I showcased on my knowledge showcase. I designed this food app based on pain points and touch points as well. This app in general is to help users that are gluten intolerant or diabetic patients, because I used to have a relative that died of diabetes. So one of the challenges we had back then when he was in the hospital was as in people not being around to cook the specific food that is demanded of him to eat. So it takes time for the food to get to the hospital. And as a sick patient, he can't take drugs or medications without taking his food. So I kind of thought to myself that if there is an app like this, you understand, because my people were scared of buying food for him outside. Diabetic patients, they have specific food that they are asked to eat. So I assume that what if there was actually an app like this where you can easily go and get order food based on your requirements, because here it gives you details of the food that you are about to buy. You get to know the contents of the food. Then it enhances you, or it enables you as a user to make healthier choices. That is this is personalized categories or personalized recommendations rather. This is where we recommend, if you log into the app, then you'll be like, okay, this is your health status. So these recommendations come based on your, as in whatever you feel that is your health status. So you get here, let me bolden it a bit. Imagine you want to order this burger. You get to see the calorie content. You get to see the overall weight, what the type of meat is that was used in making it. Then this is a general information, the whole process of making this burger. Then here again is another dish, chicken noodles. Here is an explanation. You get to see the ingredients, the things that are contained. So based on somebody that is allergic or having food allergy, or you are diabetic, or whatever it is that you have with food, you get to decide which one that you are ordering based on, because you have been provided with information concerning the ingredients, the total weight, the calorie content, the nutritional value in as a whole. Then delivery also has been made easy here. Delivery has been made easy. You can sit at the comfort of your home or wherever you are to track your delivery and ensure that it gets to you in time. Then another thing here is another thing I'm working on. This is my project. I'll just give you a glimpse of it. So this is
Hi,
a fashion
Vivian.
app.
Hi, Vivian. Just because of time, we need to wrap up your presentation as well so we can get Hannah to present. So if you can give us like a final overview of what you have to present, that would be fantastic.
Okay, all right. So in this journey as a whole, it has not been easy. Initially, the motivation was not there. But when the physical classes started, it was with the at the initial stage, when all school has not even started, that's the online provider has not even started. The motivation was like low, but I was interested in the whole thing, so I had to keep myself motivated. Then when the physical alt school came and then the physical class came, so our providers also they keep on encouraging us, they keep on supporting us. At some point, I felt like, what's the point doing this whole thing? But then I go on LinkedIn, I gain motivation from people in the tech community. I see what they do, especially in this field, this UI UX design. I follow up people's story and it keeps me motivated. So my advice to everybody, especially the women, we as women, we have a lot going on in our head. We have so many times we have the push to give up, but I want to advise us and I want to encourage us that we should just keep on moving, that we should find something that will keep us motivated so that at the end we'll be successful in this journey. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Vivian. Really, really well presented. Hannah, would you be ready to present what you've learned so far and what you've built in the 3MCT program?
Yes, I will be.
Thank you. So when you're ready, would you be presenting or would you just be sharing with us?
Okay, I can just share the screen. I was in the data science track of the 3MCT program, and I want to present what I learned during the program. So recently, before the rain started falling, the heat was very, very high. Like this year, the heat has been so high. So that got me thinking, okay, let me really analyze the temperature and maybe notice things that cause changes to the temperature. So first of all, I went on to download my data set from Kaggle, and then I imported the libraries I used. So I used the auto-regression model to analyze data. So first of all, before you work on data, you have to clean the data up so that whatever you're doing, there will be nothing to make the data or to make your insights to not be accurate. So I had to clean null values, that's empty, just zeros or nothing is there entirely. I had to clean that using these. So first of all, I visualized it. So I had non-null values and then null values. Then I created a wrangle function to clean the data set. I removed the data, the columns I was not using from the data set, and renamed some columns just to get more insight. So after doing this was the data set I got, just date and then the target value. After doing this, I went on to explore the data set. So see what's going on, how the different values changed over time. So from 1992 to 2012, these are data values changed. After this, I also did some other exploration. I did a histogram to visualize the data, and then a box plot to see how the temperature changed. I also did a weekly rolling averages to remove the hills and values. If you notice the time series data that I visualized before, you could not really understand the trend of the data set. So this is to remove those valleys and hills to make the data set just move normally. So that's what this rolling average is. Then this is the PACF plot. This PACF plot is to see how the data set went changed over time. So this is the correlation coefficient, how it changed over time. And then this okay, that's the ACF plot, this is the PACF plot. This one is to notice, okay, if this is how it's changing, what really made it change, which values really made it change. So that's what that's for. And then I went on to build my data set. So using AR regression model. So I built it and then I had to find out the mean absolute error to see how the model was working, whether the error was very high or low. So baseline, that's the normal without the model. This was the mean absolute error we had, that's 0.59. And then after building the model, the error was 0.26, which is very, very good. So our model behaved better than what our baseline was. So I went on to plot residuals to see whether the model, it's really generalizing the data set very well. So this is also the plot diagnosis to see how the model really adapted to data. So that's what all these graphs are for. So finally, oh my goodness, sorry.
Hi, Hannah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, I can hear you. I wanted to show the visuals of how the model performed, but I'll have to run the code all over again. I don't know whether time is still on my favor.
No problem at all. Do you have a screenshot of what the visuals look like?
No, I don't have a screenshot. It's just the video I presented.
Oh, no problem at all. Thank you very much. The descriptions you gave so far were vivid enough for us to visualize what the final thing will look like. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And to all our presenters, thank you so much for making the time to present today, as well as our guest speakers and our moderator. Eunice, you kicked us off by showing us what you've learned with your UI UX program in developing an app that can help students. Hannah, you showed us what you've learned with data analysis and visualization in designing an app that can help predict the weather. Vivian, you showed us how you've used your knowledge from UI UX to design an app which can help diabetics with ordering food. Thank you so much to everyone who has shown the different ways they've applied what they've learned so far with the 3MCT program. We wish you the very best. And once more, we'd like to say a very, very happy International Women's Day to everyone. And thank you all and have a great weekend ahead. Take care.